Hello and welcome to Trolls of the Two Tonne Bridges, or TOTTB. My name is John and I will be your Percival Silverlight today. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Trolls of the Two Tonne Bridges. We have a little bit of news for you. As you may have noticed, our releases have been a little bit sporadic of late, and for this we are sorry, but unfortunately life has got in the way of the editing process. To try and ensure our quality and our sanity, we have decided to move our release schedule to fortnightly rather than weekly for the time being. Don't worry, we will still be here. It's just every 2 weeks. Hopefully we can get back to normality sometime soon, so we can get back to some kind of regular scheduling. Our next episode will be released on the 9th of November, and then the 23rd of November after that. In the meantime, thank you for bearing with us, and adventure!
The Log of Percival Silverlight. There are many great battles in history. That time I beat a red dragon, for example, or when I punched that dwarf. Our battle with Taban may be one such that is told in the history books, and not just mine. Taban himself is a surly tabaxi gladiator, but one of good temperament and with enough honour to know when he's beaten. Now we must find Ekene before Taban, Zibi and Raana get too drunk to know what day it is. Adventure!
Apart from that, however, you move through the crowd without any particular noteworthy or strange event happening, which is, nice calming stroll beside the sea, past the bazaar, which is, as you would predict, quite heaving. You make your way up the hill and tread the sort of familiar paths past the villas and past the Temple of Sevras. You cross the archway to the bridge where Golden Throne is, and you head for the villa that you've been told is Ekene's, and you are greeted by a couple of guards standing at the gate that look to you and say, "State your business."
I just would like to point out here, I have managed to wipe bird poop off me. I've not just turned up. Yes.
I had figured.
Good, thank you. Yes.
just in case.
Hello, my name is Percival Silverlight. You may have heard of me. I'm actually here to discuss business with Ekene. Do you happen to know if she's in residence, or I can't see any flag flying, so I don't know if she's home. Is she around at all? I have to talk to her with regards to a job she has asked me to do.
What sort of business you got for the Merchant Prince? And one of them's looking a little bit suspiciously at you.
She hired me to find a gentleman.
Am I with him?
No.
I don't know what happened.
No,
Sorry.
we split.
Oh, did we? Oh, okay.
Percival had basically said that it would be an idea for you guys to split up. Therefore, you could cover more ground quickly. So maybe you go
Split
to
the
one
party,
place, he
all
goes to
good,
another.
yep.
Always good.
Makes things more fun,
So we can decide just now, Soliloquy, without knowing anything so far of what's happened, do you think you would agree with that? Would you agree that you would have split up, or would you have gone with Percival?
Being that I get some weird people watching me and following me, I probably wouldn't have necessarily wanted to walk on my own. But I guess if he's already done it, I can.
No, that's okay. We can retcon that you came with Percival instead if you think quite strongly, because we made that decision without
What
you.
direction has he gone into?
I said that I would be going up to Kene's villa.
And where is Kene's villa? Is she up near Wakanga?
You'd have to go through.
She is up.
Wakangas.
She is. You'd have to go past Wakangas, but she is in a villa that is next to the Golden Throne. It's the hill across from the Temple of Sevras,
Did anybody try and go into the dino dens yet?
No, I was going to suggest that you head off there and I head over to, because it splitting the party, super dangerous, but always
a good idea.
Yeah, hopefully it should take less time overall to just kind of locate her. We're not intending to do anything crazy, so.
All right. Okay. So we're having decided that, we will now jump back to Percival and the guard. So the guard gives you a bit of a quizzical look about, sort of with your comments of having me hired to track down a man. And after a few moments of looking at you as if trying to work out, like, are you being genuine? They then say, if you want the merchant prince, she's in Golden Throne behind you. She's currently doing business, so I wouldn't expect to see her for some time, unless you really have captured someone important for her.
Well, she did ask me to do it personally, So I think I'll probably just pop in there, or at least, kind of give her a wave, and see if she'll see me.
Yeah, you do that, sir. Mind you keep the peace now, all right?
Peace kept. Don't you worry.
And Percival swings around and heads off over to Golden Throne.
Okay. Natalia, we jump back to you. You're heading on down to the dino den, so you're going to sort of... are you headed for anything in particular, or are you just sort of having a look around to see if you can find Ekene?
You keep my eye out for Ekene or her son.
Okay, roll me an investigation, please.
That was rubbish, so 7.
Okay. You have a look around the dino dens, and you can't see, anyone of note, to be honest. You're looking about the different paddocks. You get a good look at, some of the domesticated dinosaurs that are there, the ones that are sort of being kept as livestock rather than as racing animals. And you check out the training ground where you saw Tyrek riding the big honker before, but you find neither Big Honker, Tyrek, or Ekene in any of those places.
Is there any people around me at all that I could ask?
There are several people, but the investigation is taking into account that you would also be asking other people as you're ask people just like, have you seen anybody? The people you ask have no idea where Ekene is. They haven't seen her, at least, so you're not sure if she's here incognito or just not here.
Well, in that case, I will assume if they don't know where Tyrek or Ekene are, if the ones I've asked, I'm just going to assume that she's not there, or I'm better off looking elsewhere.
Okey-dokey. So where would you go next? Would you go back to the Enchanted Dinosaur, or would you head on up to Golden Throne? Or Ekene's Villa?
Whereabouts is Ekene's Villa and the Golden Throne again?
So they're on the same hill. They're right next to each other.
They're there.
Yes.
Okay, so here, yeah.
Yep. So that's Golden Throne, and that one is Ekene's Villa there.
So she would head up. She would head up to Ekene's Villa.
Okay.
Pop by. If there's any guards or anything, she might ask them.
Okay.
If they don't know, then she might then go from there to Wakanga.
Okay. As that's going to take a little time, we'll jump back to Percival again. Percival.
Yes.
You head on into Golden Throne, and Golden Throne, you've not actually visited this building before yet, but this is quite sort of large building, quite circular sort of building on top of this hill that sort of dominates. It's actually a little higher up the hill even than the villas that you've just been at. You come up and you find that the entranceway, there's this quite large, at least twice your height, great big wooden doors sort of flank the entrances with these intricate golden gilded geometric shapes that you've actually seen painted on walls throughout the city, decorating them. They are at the moment, they are open wide as the building is clearly, open to visitors, and they are flanked on either side by a pair of gladiators in full warriors gear, sort of keeping an eye on who's coming and going. As you step into the building, you see that you have this sort of large reception room where the walls have got these mosaics of various, clearly stories or tales of the ancient Cholton race that used to rule this peninsula. In the center of the room, you have this little babbling fountain with 2 basins and little figurines you can just sort of see standing on top. There are stone benches placed around the room that are clearly there being used by some visitors that are maybe waiting for merchant princes for audiences. At the far side, you see this second pair of even larger doors where the golden gilding on the doors are showing two warriors posed with their spears held outright. And in front of this door is this stone desk area, this literally a little sort of like information kiosk but made of stone.
Tourist information.
With a couple of attendants, one of whom is currently chatting with somebody, but the other one looks like they are free at the moment.
So I wander in, and I pick up a pamphlet for some kind of tour of.
Yeah, there's a little kiosk for a tour of Port Nyanzaro, leaving in the next half an hour.
I check the sundial on my arm and notice that I probably haven't got time. I wander over to the person that is free, and I kind of. Is there a little bell or anything like that there?
There is not a little bell there. No.
Oh, okay.
Ding-a-ling! Ding-a-ling!
There's a little gong. Dong.
The attendant looks at you expectantly and just says, "Hello, good morning. Is there anything I can help you with?"
Hello, I didn't see you there. Yes, I was wondering if you may be able to help me. I am looking for Ekene.
Ekene, of course.
I'm told that she is here today.
She is in office at the moment, yes, that is correct. But she does have a meeting at the moment. Do you have an appointment?
I don't have an appointment. I was actually just trying to locate her whereabouts, if you see what I mean. I've been asked to provide her with the location of a friend of ours, and I was just wondering if I might be able to leave her a small note or just let her know that we do actually have the person, and I'm wondering where to take him.
If you would like us to send her a message, we can, of course, provide that service. We will send a message to her for her attention. If, however, you were after an actual meeting, I'm afraid you will have to wait until she is free. But I can take your name and pass it along and see what Ekene makes of this claim of yours of information that she's after.
You sound like you don't believe me.
What is the name, sir? And she takes out a bit of paper and a quill.
My name is Percival Silverlight.
Percival.
You may have heard of me.
Can I get a perception roll from you, please, Percival?
There's a cape of billowing when you need one.
He has asked for one.
A perceptione.
Yes.
Oh, natural one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yet again, this person has not heard of you.
Percival rocks.
You are
With a feather in it.
Rock's bottom.
Uh-huh.
You notice nothing. You are completely oblivious to practically all else, which is actually no different to your own general way you work, I think, Percival.
Yeah, he's just there, sort of blowing on his fingernails and shining them.
She scribbles down your name and writes a little bit of information, and she calls over another attendant and tells them to pass on the message to Ekene. And she says, if you would like to wait for her response, you can certainly take a seat or wait, or if you would like. Of course, there's no need to stay. We shall keep in mind you if you wish to come back later.
Well, I should probably just hang around a little bit and see if I can get a response. My colleagues are waiting for me, you see, and it would be terribly rude of me to just turn up empty-handed, if you see what I mean.
Yes, turning up empty-handed is, and she conspicuously looks to one side of you as if like, you don't have anybody here at the minute. It's just kind of like, is sometimes considered rude. If you'd like to take a seat, sir.
Why, thank you.
Okay. You go to sit down, and it takes a little while. So in that time, Soliloquy actually manages to join you. So Soliloquy, as you come up, did you say you were going to go to Golden Throne or to her villa?
I'm going to go... Does she have guards outside her villa?
She does,
like a
yes.
Gary, but not a Gary. Yeah.
Not a Gary, no, but they do have guards.
Like it, yeah. So she'll probably just speak to the guards and say, is Ekene home?
They are able to tell you that Ekene is indeed in Golden Throne. There's that moment where you go to say, just kind of like, excuse me, I'm looking for Ekene, yes, because I have information pertaining to somebody that you've caught for her. as if they've heard this before, and they're like,
I'm sorry, Has somebody been here previous to me? I apologise if the information is being repeated.
Your friend's already in Golden Throne where Ekene is. He hasn't been thrown out yet, so presumably he has something of note.
Oh, yes, Percival. Oh, but thank you very much. I will head over there now, and I'm sorry if he overstayed his welcome or anything, and I'll get going now.
They just kind of grunt back. You head on in, and you are struck by the same reception hall with these mosaics on the walls and the fountain in the middle, and you see Percival quite quickly. You're used to him.
Could I hear him before I walked in there, just from his... It's me!
You hear him, despite the fact he's not saying anything. And he's just sort of sat waiting.
You can hear the scribbling of my pencil upon my notebook.
Mm-hmm. As you're sat together, sort of waiting, it again takes a little bit longer. Even after Soliloquy gets in, it's now been about half an hour, 3/4 of an hour almost.
I would say at this point, once Soliloquy actually arrives, I would actually turn to her and say, Soliloquy, I'm very glad that you could join me. I have left a message for Ekene, but obviously she's a busy woman. I was just wondering, do you think it might be worth popping off, going and grabbing Taban and bringing him here? Otherwise, we are just sort of turning up with nothing.
Well, to be honest with you, Percival, I'm not entirely sure what she wants to do with Taban. And while it's not our business, as in, it's their issue, I don't know whether I trust bringing somebody like Taban in somewhere like here where there's so many people around, where they might just hurt him, and he's alone to defend himself.
We don't really know what the situation is yet, do we?
We don't, but we don't owe Ekene anything really.
But we are
in the
trying
way of,
to get her on our side.
We are, absolutely, but I think we should set up a meeting with her without Taban to find out what she wants to do with Taban. We can then decide whether it seems untoward. Also, don't forget, depending on what she wants to offer us, because she hasn't really offered us much so far, and Taban seems like when he wants to, he has money, or he may have contacts in the area. We don't know. Taban might be of more use than Ekene. We don't know yet.
It's true, he does have a mean fighting style that I was quite impressed by. Not as good as me, of course, but Anyway.
Yes.
Maybe you have a point. Shall we see what she says then, and then from then on we can actually decide maybe the best course of action?
I think we should at least, just have a chat with her and hear her out, what she plans to do. Otherwise, we have blood on our hands.
Well, I'm not killing him.
You know what I mean.
Very well.
So, continue to wait then, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Shall we tell her to either get a message to Wakanga, or she can come and find us at the Giggling Squid? That way, Taban's not necessarily with us at either of those places, but she can always find us there. Would that make sense?
I don't know. What are we going to do with Taban then?
Oh, well, I don't know. I tell you what, how about we leave another note and say to her, can we have a meeting with her at the Giggling Squid tomorrow morning?
Let me get this. Let me just hang on. Let me just interject a little bit of a reality check here. You're going to tell a merchant prince, the ruling class of this city, to meet you in the pub because it's more convenient for you.
No, it's just trying to find a place where we can find her and she can find us. I don't know where if she was about, we would arrange a place that's more suitable for her. But
do
as
lovely
she's not
breakfast
about to talk
broth.
to us,
You're basically talking
She's
to
not giving
royalty.
us-
Yeah,
At this
yeah.
point.
I just want to interject that little bit of reality check there. Like, I can fully understand why Soliloquy might think that that's, perfectly okay, although I personally would have expected that more from Percival.
well, where would be good to meet a merchant prince for brunch or whatever?
At Golden Throne, or wherever she tells you to meet her.
But we are at Golden Throne, and she's
You are,
doesn't have
but
time
you're
to meet us
still
at the moment.
Well, you're waiting. That's the thing. She said she has meetings. She's willing to meet with you in her office, but she hasn't yet sent anybody out to come and get you.
Imagine you go to a job interview and you arrive and they say, we're seeing someone before, and you say, I tell you what, I'll
You
go
meet
to
me.
the pub and then
When you're ready,
and then the head
come
of
over and get me.
recruitment, the head of recruitment,
I
the
do, a lovely
MD and the
lunch.
head of HR, can you all come down to the Spoons
You come and
down
find
the
me when
corner?
you're done.
But
You know
can
where I'll be.
but can you come tomorrow morning at 8 a.m? I'll be having breakfast, and you can come and meet me. Thanks, love. Cheers. And turn around to walk out.
It's like if you said that to Wakanga, at least you have a working relationship with Wakanga, and he might at least be amused by that. You don't have a working relationship with Ekene at the minute.
I did invite Ekene for breakfast at the Giggling Squid when we met her at the Colosseum, and she said that she was actually not totally against it, but she said that she would be helping her son in the Dino Den, so we met her there. But I have previously invited her.
It was
to the
possibly a
Giggling Squid.
polite way of saying get staff to come and meet.
Anyway,
so jumping back into the roleplay side of things. As you guys are back and forthing over this, an attendant does come out and calls out to the room at large. Mr. Silverlight.
Oh, Percival, it's us.
Yes. Oh, just over here. And he puts his finger up and he's like, yes, me.
You head on over, and the attendant says to you, "I am very sorry. She is very busy at the moment, but she says that she would be willing to see you and Mr." And he consults a bit of paper he's got, Mr. Taban, in about 3 hours' time. If you would be so kind as to return with this gentleman that is listed here.
No problem.
Actually, can we ask you? 3 hours' time is fine. Sorry, I'm Siliqui. I work for her and this whole thing as well.
We're associates.
Yes, but if you can say to me, we would like to talk to her without Taban, if that's okay. So if we turn up in 3 hours, we'll have a bit of a chat with her, and then hopefully we'll be able to bring Taban later on.
I can pass on your sentiments, but that is the information I've been told. She will see you in 3 hours, and hopefully you bring this Mr. Taban.
No problem. Okay, thank you
no
very
worries.
much.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, we will be back.
Thank you. May I take your name, please?
Is there anything else I can help you? My name is not important.
Write it down.
No, I insist. I should get everybody's name.
Not important.
You're just making him think of names again, aren't you?
Barry. His name is Barry.
Barry. Oh, thank you. You do not disappoint me, Greg. Thank you.
Spelt with several G's for some reason.
So, Percival, we should get back to the others, but if she insists on seeing Taban, maybe we will have to bring him, but if we all come, at least that way we can question her before doing anything like handing him over.
Certainly think we should all be there, yes. Absolutely.
So,
shall we?
3 hours' time. So, should we have a jog back then? To where the others are? Yep.
As you head on back through the city, Siliqui, I would like from you a perception. I was about to say a Percival check. No, a perception check.
It's a bit like ego check, but it's just a Percival check.
So perception, did you say? A 5.
Yeah, Raana's on his third brandy at this point, and he's just discovered what tequila is, and he's quite enjoying it.
We're like four or five drinks deep at this point. Taban turns to you in the cut scene where it goes to the bar and says, "And that's when I said, no, it wasn't the farmer's daughter, it was the farmer's mother." And then cuts away.
Slamming his hand on the bar, laughing.
Drinks everywhere.
Half the bar's laughing as well.
Yeah.
Peanuts all over the place, yeah.
I didn't know Steve was joining us.
Drink flying everywhere, sort of gesticulating.
Natalia, what did you get for perception?
10.
10. Okey-dokey. As you move back through the city again, you once again have this sort of this menagerie of characters, and
you're still in that sort of slightly uncomfortable zone of just being, rubbing shoulders with a muzzled Allosaurus. No matter how tight that muzzle looks, it's still kind of a bit terrifying to see a creature that could probably swallow you whole, pulling along, hay or something like that.
See, you say it should look terrifying. Siliqui is equal parts terrified and fascinated.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Fascified or terminated?
You also notice, as you're walking through the streets, you notice the dwarf that you spoke to the other day outside of the bathhouses, just sort of passing you. You're kind of on opposite sides of the street, so you don't really get a chance to actually say hello. But you see him walking by, and he gives a little nod in your direction, a little wave of the hand, and you guys continue on down to the Enchanted Dinosaur in Tiriki Anchorage.
Okie dokie.
When you get to the Enchanted Dinosaur, so Taban, Zibi, and Raana, what do they see?
I told you, sticky floors, but good beer and good food. Told you. Yeah. Hey, I turned to the bartender. What's the bartender's name?
The bartender's name is Thamuza.
Thamuza. Hey, Thamuza, get some of the clear white stuff from Mesro out. Come on, share with my friends.
Oh, we only get that out for special occasions, Taban. But
It's
you,
a
my friend,
special occasion.
you are the
Come
special
on.
occasion. Yes.
Yes.
As you guys enter this Enchanted Dinosaur, I'd like both of you, please, to roll me a dexterity check, please. A dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh god, it's those sticky floors. Ooh.
16.
15.
Why are you rolling?
So you got a 16, and Percival, you got a what?
Hang on, I got dexterities.
That was Raana to stay on his chair.
You manage it, Raana. Barely, but you manage it.
I got a 12.
You got 12, but what's your saving throw modifier for Dex?
Plus, well, the thing is that I did add my other stuff, so it would be plus 2. No, it would be plus 3.
13.
Sorry. So yeah, 13.
Wait, 13 in total? I thought you just said you got plus 3.
No, it won't be. You said plus 3, and you've got 12. So that's 15.
Johnny,
sorry.
you okay?
I'm sorry. I've got your thing up here. Yes.
Oh.
yes. I'm looking at your dice. Not my dice.
He has had a Malibu and orange.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, 13.
So
12,
the two
15.
of you
There you
are quick enough as you come in, you get this flash view of the Enchanted Dinosaur, and then all of a sudden you just hear a heads up, and you both manage to duck as a dart goes flying over your head and hits the beam of the door as you come in, and you guys have that moment of just kind of like looking around, seeing what's just happened, and yeah. Somebody playing darts has just slipped slightly and has sent a dart flying in your direction.
Soliloquy has a moment and jumps into a stance and just holds a ninja star. Like, what was that? Until she works out it was just a dart.
Somehow Percival has his rapier in his hand.
Very nice,
didn't
very
even
nice.
see him draw it.
The patron in particular comes stumbling over, just like, "Oh, I'm sorry, love. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to." And he's saying this to Percival. I didn't mean to hit you.
It's okay, lovey, you didn't hit me.
You managed to come over to the table where Raana, Zibi, and Taban are sitting. Taban looks, as you can tell, looks the picture of health. Zibi appears to be slightly nodding off in one corner, which is, I'm afraid, Nick, that is how we explained you just stopping in the middle of a sentence.
As Soliloquy comes up, I sort of shake my head a bit and go, "All right, you're back already."
He fell asleep.
Because it must have only been about 2 hours. Bloody hell.
And Raana is teetering on his chair, possibly nearly falling off.
Rana's just sort of muttering under his breath. He's sort of saying, "This pub,
Aye.
I must be named after Zindar. Yeah, yes, it's, must be named after him. He is."
Zindar would have been a greater name than Enchanted fucking Dinosaur.
But Raana says, but Zindar is a dinosaur who knows magic. I mean, taps his nose.
For context, Taban, you would know that Zindar is the name of the harbour master of Port Nyanzaro, a gold dragonborn that is a sorcerer. So,
Raana has no real concept. Raana has no real concept of what a dragonborn is, except he's seen lots of dinosaurs. Kind of looks like a dinosaur. So in Rana's eyes, it's literally a magic dinosaur, which is like the coolest thing in the world. It's like a shark with lasers that's also a ninja, all at the same time.
Taban doesn't make the connection between the two names, even though he knows it. So they're going,
Yeah.
yes, I like stories. Talk more, Cholton.
And then Raana Raana leans forward and picks up like a deep fried gecko or something, and just bites off the head and then just waves it, making a not actually saying anything, but just emphasising the room. Yeah.
So it's full.
Zibi puts his hand and goes, can we get some coffee? Maybe quite a big bucket of coffee, thank you very much. Just give it to wee man over here and I'll just put his head in it. It'll be fine.
I'll have another ale.
So,
And I'll have another whiskey, thank you very much.
seeing the state of your companions, Percival, Siliqui, what are you guys going to do?
So it looks like they've well, look at the state of them.
Taban, are you lapping up your whiskey? No.
It is ale, and this
Nice
is how I
ale.
drink.
I bet you're a hit with the ladies.
That's fine. I've heard the rumours.
Okay.
It's that constantly wet beard. Yeah.
It's why I have more of a bowl than a cup. I need it shallow in order to get my face in there.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I'm going to retcon that. Yeah,
Barkeep,
the
a bowl of ale for me as well, please.
I'm going to say, yeah, the barkeeper knows you well enough that instead of your own favourite pint, it is just your own favourite bowl is just kept behind the bar.
It's like, you know, like how tankers have their name, like how you can have them inscribed. You just got like a wooden bowl with your name and a picture of like a little cat paw or something.
It's actually a cat dish.
Back
Sorry,
at the plot. Back at the plot, guys.
Sorry.
The writers made a good effort on this.
We've
one.
we went to see.
Should follow the script.
They did.
We had a look around for Ekene, and she was at the Golden Throne place. Anyway, she was very busy, so she couldn't see us. But she did say she would be happy to have a meeting with us if we brought Taban in about 3 hours. Now that was about, what would it have been, about
Half an hour.
15?
Yeah. Half hour, yeah.
Yeah. So about 2.5 hours ago. If I'm guessing you guys have eaten and everything, but
We on
is there
food
anything?
again?
Is there anything we need to do in the meantime to before
I
going there?
have
Or
one thing. We should discuss how Golden Throne sounds like an expensive toilet.
You're not wrong.
I think also we need to find some more food for wee man here. Because he might have had a wee bit too much tequila.
I think we need to start storing up
Maybe
things
just a
like
little
jerky
bit.
in some packaging, just so Raana can carry on.
Raana says, he just no.
Taban puts a paw on your shoulder to steady you as you're doing it.
And says, and then Raana suddenly looks, his eyes widen, and he says, if Raana was bigger, Raana could drink and eat more. And then Raana pauses, and Raana says, Raana could drink when is a bear. Bear is big. Bear can eat more than Raana can.
Raana, it's not that customary to be a bear.
And then Raana he stares into the mid distance, you know, like at a point like in the mid distance, and his eyes sort of really, really focus in, and you see just a couple of beads of sweat start to run down his face, and just for some reason, just like the hairs on the back of his hand suddenly, like, just for a second, look much longer and thicker than they did before. And then it all goes back to normal, and Raana shakes his head and says, no, I need to rest, but the next time we drink, yes, he says, a bear is a good idea. And he looks very pleased with himself.
Raana, you should remember, don't be big to drink. Drink to get big.
Raana nods, but has no understanding of what is meant by that. And then,
Very sage.
and then, yeah, he just nods. Or, you know, he says, or I could be very small. Then the drink would be very big compared to me. Then I could climb in the glass, he says, if I was small enough. And then he looks very thoughtful, and then doesn't say anymore.
Do you think we could maybe find a wheel?
A will or a wheel?
A will? Wheel?
No, a wheelbarrow. You know, one of
Your
those
accent.
things.
Wheelbarrow.
Oh, a wheelbarrow.
A wheelbarrow.
Right, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, a
wheelbarrow.
wheelbarrow for wee.
No.
Yeah, for wee man here.
He must walk.
If we put him in the wheelbarrow, then he's not going to fall over.
I mean, these are all lovely ideas, chaps. Look,
There's absolutely no need. We all need to head off somewhere anyway. I mean, where shall we sit here for a bit, or do we want to go back to like the
More
Human Squid for a
drinks.
couple of hours?
Oh, drinks!
so,
We might need the 2.5 hours to get back. If I was you, this is like 1 step forwards, 2 steps back. That's 2.5 hours in my book.
The Musa, more drinks for my friends, come.
okay. I see where this is
Oh,
going.
actually, yes. Can I have a mimosa?
Right.
Siliqui is sat without saying it out loud, but looking around, wondering if she's going to be Des for the next few hours.
What does...
She's going to be what? Des?
You know, Des in the designated
Designated
driver.
driver.
Oh,
you know,
right,
isn't the
yeah,
only
gotcha.
sober one.
Did you find out what
Ekene.
Ekene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Everybody listen up. And he Percival just gives a... Okay. Right. We have a plan. In roughly, probably 2 hours now, we will be bringing you, Taban, possibly to the Golden Throne, where we will have a meeting.
more drinks?
We will have drinks afterwards.
Oh.
First of all, we need to make sure that we actually have a meeting with Ekene so that she's able to give us lots of lovely give us lots of help. And then perhaps we'll be able to see what she actually wants with you, Taban. I'm not totally sure what. She wasn't entirely clear, I'm afraid.
Does the man in the tight trousers intend to sell me to Ekene?
I don't intend to sell you.
We're not selling you, no, as such. It is, Ekene is one of the merchant princes, and we do need to. No, not really, but
I'm no pimp.
but we do need to get favour with Ekene as a merchant prince, because we do need to get both and
At the expense
some
of
weapons.
Taban?
Well, not necessarily at the expense of Taban, but we do need to find a way to be on side with Ekene. So I don't know what she wants to do to
I
you.
thought now, post-battle, we have drinks together. We are friends now. Fight together.
I mean, what's your experience with
You give me to somebody else now?
No. We are not giving you to
I quite
anybody.
like this fellow now. He's got some good stories, even better than yours, Percy.
Well, what's your experience in Chult? I mean, have you ever travelled outside of Port Nianzaro?
I travelled word as champion.
Would Taban have, in regards to Chult and outside of Port Nianzaro, would he have gone sort of...
No.
No.
Oh, right.
I was talking to Siliqui.
So, yeah, basically Siliqui was
It's
like, maybe he's been
best
everywhere.
of these.
But yeah.
It's best of these cases. I'm just gonna nip that in the bud. No.
And so, I mean, if we don't hand you to Ekene, I mean, what would be in it for us in the sense of would you be able to help us at all?
Siliqui, that's incredibly mercenary
Friendship.
of you, Siliqui.
Friendship.
Well, I'm potentially saving this man's life.
What is next
You know?
task for you? Where do you go from here?
Have you heard of the death curse?
Everyone's heard of the death curse.
We are trying to find the cause of the death curse, and so we are trying our best to investigate and search the island of Chult to find what's causing it, to see if we can do anything to stop it. Basically,
Just a retcon on that. Does everybody know the death curse?
Yeah, they do. By this
cool.
point, it's been going on for. By this point, it's been going
All
on
right,
for
cool.
about 40 days. It's that kind of thing.
I assumed it had been going for a while.
Yeah.
it's affecting a lot of different people.
Okay.
Or in our case, a year.
Well, yeah, in our case, a year.
You find the cause of death curse, and then what do you do?
We knew the death curse before it was famous.
Yes. That's okay.
Your death curse hipsters.
You guys are Team C. Just gonna remind you of that again.
We are Team C.
Taban help you with your mission.
I think he probably could, actually. I think he'd be quite a valuable, a good addition.
Yes.
Listen to Harry, man. He knows.
What's Taban? I mean, I know you're a very good fighter. What could you bring to the group in the sense of what skills do you have? You know, what extra
What are your
skills?
stats?
What can you bring? What can you bring to the table?
I'm glad you asked. If there's one thing,
when you really helped and provided good customer service.
if there's one thing Taban likes, it's talking about Taban. Let me tell you, champion across 3 continents. Also, can drink more than any man here.
Oh, excuse me, Tabby. I beg to differ.
Maybe not furry man.
Aye.
Maybe not man who has more hair than me.
Bear that in
Taban
mind.
drink lots.
Bear that in mind. No, Raana,
And-
not bear. Don't try to get. Oh, Jesus. In fact,
What is Raana doing now?
oh, Thor.
I don't know. He's either concentrating, pooping, or trying to. I don't
Or
know.
trying not to poop, one of the two.
Anyway, I'm just going to cut in here. So,
I'm sorry, is there a plot you need to develop? Okay.
no worries. I just feel like it's now turned into rambling.
Yeah.
Yes.
It has rather
Drunken
so
babbling at
because
that.
there's one thing I do actually want to ask here, because it sounds like it's being suggested. Drinking contest between Taban and Zibi.
Aye, go
Bring it on.
Go on then.
You'd have time,
So-
but
Let's fucking do this.
But is it
Right now.
sensible to do this before we go and see Ekene, or should we actually
Yes.
save it as a fun
Now.
after seeing Ekene?
I have been
party thing?
challenged, and as my honor, I must do it now. Taban and Harryman.
Percival turns to Soliloquy and says,
Well, to be honest with you, Soliloquy, we never promised to bring him sober.
Is this true?
I like tight pants, man.
everybody likes tight pants, man.
Alright,
He's
let's
not-
fucking so you want to do a drinking
I just
contest?
tell you what, he's not a captain, though. He's
Yeah?
not a captain of anything. No industry, not the local football
Okay.
team.
Is anybody else joining in with this drinking contest? Or is it just between
Rana,
the two
you
of them?
come drink with. Come, Rana.
I think Raana might have had Raana's not used to drinking.
Raana's already out.
Taban.
Well, let's let Rana speak, shall we, and find out.
Rana nods sagely, and he he closes his eyes. He focuses on himself, and then just for the sake of it, he gets out a little sprig of leaf, like from one of his pouches, and he sprinkles it in the air, and he mutters something inaudible under his breath, and it puffs away, and there's the brief sort of scent of like wet leaves and things, and he casts healing word on himself just to see if it makes him any better.
All right. Okay, thanks. Hang on a second. Let me just double check something. So you cast healing word on yourself, and that causes. Hold on. Let's see.
It heals hit points, but
Let's see.
Rana's at full hit points. It's just wishful thinking.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Right. Hang on. I'm going to roll to determine.
You could have gone through that whole purify water thing as well and gone, I wonder if I could purify the alcohol in some way back to water to then make me sober.
Unfortunately, Rana doesn't have that spell prepared.
Rana, you release the magic. You feel you all of you see this sort of like this little shimmer in the air. But Rana, for you, it's kind of like you feel it, but you don't feel the same feeling you've had before. It's as if you've gone quite numb in your fingertips, and you can't actually feel any healing going into you, and you're just kind of like, damn it. No, it does not appear to have changed your inebriated state, I'm afraid.
Rana stares once again at his fingers, and he waves his hands as though
Raana, you just slapped me.
he looks at his hands and he mutters and he says, just like in the fight earlier, he says it's not working. And then he suddenly looks into the distance and he says, My magic has been working badly ever since that lizard. I mean, he just looks thoughtfully off into the distance and just strokes his face.
Okay.
Taban squeezes with his paw for a moment and says, "Yes, I noticed you were pretty useless in fight before, but in my defense, I thought you were just a big mascot."
Raana doesn't know what the word mascot is.
Oh no.
So Raana just nods and says, yes, it is the lizard's fault. He says,
"Always blame the lizard."
Raana says, yes. He sort of he pats the man on the neck and he says, and he looks around at everyone and he says, this tiger man gets it. He says, always blame the lizard, the city lizard.
You look about and you look to the crowd around you to sort of take in, just sort of like, yes, it is the lizard. You look,
And on the beam, just sitting there, staring at him, is a gecko.
Raana immediately surges to his feet and casts Thorn Whip at the gecko.
Roll for initiative.
Everybody duck. Mind out for
Got a
falling
6.
beams.
Okay. You get up to cast Thorn Whip at this gecko, and you suddenly realise that
without realising, you've curled your leg around one of the stools.
So as you go to stand up, the chair drags you. You're off balance, and you actually fall over, falling prone. And as you get up, looking about, looking for that bloody gecko, the gecko appears to have gone.
Raana sort of staggers to his feet and he looks around in a faintly sort of bewildered manner and just essentially sort of says, "Vengeance will be mine." And he just sort of he angrily sort of he puts his stool back down, he sits down and he gestures at the table and he says, "Let us drink. I must drink to forget."
Yes.
Going all Wolverine.
Yeah. It's the longest way of saying, I'll join. I like this.
It was, but to be honest, it went down a complete rabbit hole.
Percival and Soliloquy, are you guys going to join in the drinking contest as well?
So the Queen knows she could probably drink them all under the table, but she doesn't really drink anymore. So she's going to stay sober so she can keep an eye on everything around there, because she doesn't really know that pub, and she wants to make sure they actually go to meet Ekene when they're meant to and stuff.
Percival gets a whiskey and just sits down and
Watches them.
observes. Yes, just watches the madness. And he just nurses the whiskey.
So, Raana, Zibi, and Taban, you call over Thamuza, the barkeep, and you say, "We're gonna have this drinking contest," and Thamuza is
eagerly happy to have this, and even a few patrons come over, and you can see a couple of them are sort of eyeing you guys up and are starting to make bids. You hear a couple of people going, "I bet you the druid's going to be out in 2 rounds." Somebody else goes like 20 gold pieces on Taban.
Soliloquy hears them and sidles up to him and goes, I'll bet the druid will be out in 3 rounds.
Okay. How much are you betting?
10 gold pieces.
10 gold pieces. Okay, cool.
Taban would have found... Taban, hearing the gambling going on, would have found somebody on the side to also place a bet on himself.
On himself. Okay, how much are you going to place on yourself? I should probably write this down. Hold on.
All of my money, 15 gold.
15 gold, okay. I've got to find myself a pen. Where have all my pens gone?
I would also like to quickly state... No. I'd like to quickly state that I have the bag of the gems that we collected.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So, Taban, you've placed how much gold? 15 gold.
15 gold myself.
15 gold.
What are my odds?
To be honest, because it's a kind of it.
Better than the druid.
It's gonna be a
Winner takes all.
No, not winner takes all. It's just going to be a direct payout. So it's going to be a what is that? That's 1 in 2 or something. You get like, you either, if you lose, you pay the amount.
2 to 1.
2 to 1. That's the word. Yep. Sorry, my brain cried there for a second. Yeah, it's
2 to 1. So if I pay 15, you're going to give me 45 back.
Yeah, you get 30 plus your 15 original. Yeah.
Yes. Did not realise. I was gonna pay you. I was gonna basically double your. That's 1-to-1, isn't it?
That'd be 1-to-1.
Yeah.
1-to-1.
So you get double the amount, and then you get your own back
two
as
to
well.
one.
Yeah.
I think is a bit more interesting. So yeah.
2-to-1 on me. Get the bets in.
What's the chances of Raana being out within 3 rounds? What's
How
the
much
odds?
did you bet? You bet 10 gold on Raana.
It's 1-to-10, I think. Rather than 10-1, it's 1-to-10.
Yeah, that'd be.
Well, yes, it's almost favourite, isn't it? It's almost guaranteed.
I'd love Raana.
Okay. Anybody else placing?
That'd be amazing.
Anybody else placing bets?
Rana doesn't place a bet, but he reaches
Percival
into
is
his
not.
pocket and he takes out his lucky peanut and he kisses it. Like that, and when he tucks it back into his pocket and he pats it, like it's a love letter or like a favourite pocket watch from his granddad, and he taps it and he sits down and he rolls his shoulders, almost falling backwards off his chair as he does, and when he rocks back forward and he nods and he says, "I am ready."
Raana, would you like some water before we start?
Rana frowns and says, "Water is for fish. Brandy is for me."
Nick, are you placing any bets at all?
Yeah, I sort of wave Percy over and go, "Here's 10 gold. Go and find somebody to put a bet on yourself."
Yes.
I can't do
Okay.
it. It's a bit weird.
No, I understand. You have to be a complete egotist to do something like that.
Aye, listen,
And he takes the money.
I knew, Percy, I knew you'd understand. That's why I came to you first.
Exactly. It takes one to know one, right?
He finds somebody, puts that 10 gold on for Zibi.
All right. Okay. And Percival, you're sure you don't want to place a bet on anybody in particular? Or on anything else that might happen?
No, I'm not going to.
No. Okay, cool. So, the barkeep comes back over with this platter of ales. One of them, obviously, being the bowl that Taban has. He places it down and tells you. So, rules are very simple. Down in 1, boys. He gestures. First round. And I'd like all of you to roll me a Constitution saving throw, please. So it's a Constitution saving throw because you have to sort of down in 1, and even for a cat, you still probably manage that with just like tipping the bowl up.
I don't have to go.
No, you do not. We'll just say
Right,
regardless of how the anatomy works, you can down it in 1, but we'll see. Raana,
Thanks, man.
you unfortunately are going to be making yours with disadvantage because you're inebriation already.
Okay, so the first roll's an 18.
There.
Second roll is a dirty 20, so 18.
So 18. Okay, Zibi.
I rolled a 14 plus 2, so that's 16.
16 and Taban.
On saving throw.
On saving throw?
21.
21. Nice.
Every
okay.
time Rana survives a round.
All right. I'm with you. Hold up. I'm with you.
We've got drinks. Okay.
This is like 52%. It's all good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cheating slightly in comparison to that, but still, it's a bit...
all of you do take your drinks, and you find that this is the ale that you've so far been drinking. This is fairly standard stuff. It's nothing too nauseous, and all of you are able to take it back, and you're able to place it down. Raana, you're a little bit tipsy, but you manage to drink it all, and there's no one that can hold that against you. You all sort of like put your hands up, just like yeah,
Good.
okay.
More drinks.
The barkeep goes back behind the bar and brings you out another one and says, "Right, now this one is the dwarven ale, the good ale. Let's see you finish this one." He places another platter of pints in front of you.
Oh, I quite like dwarven ale. That's quite nice, actually.
I'd like now for you to roll me another Constitution saving throw, please. Again, Raana, you're making a disadvantage for the time being.
I've had some good nights on dwarven ale.
Would Nick be doing this at advantage because of its background?
Hey,
Are you what race are you?
Drunkard.
Nick's human.
Human. Okay. Sorry.
I'm doing Raana.
I just always see you. I'm just seeing
No,
you
it's
as a
just-
dwarf.
it's just-
I don't know why.
Raana is a disadvantage purely because he was so drunk beforehand.
Rana got 3.
Sorry, so you got
Nice.
3.
Oof.
Okay, Zibi, what did you get?
I rolled 17 plus 2, 19.
You're 19. Okay.
What round are they on?
They're on round 2.
I actually only rolled
okay.
a 17.
You only rolled a 17. Okay, cool. So you take this dwarven ale, you smell it, and this has got a slightly maltier, heavier taste. You take it back and you drink it, and Raana, you're halfway through your drink, and then you choke, and you cough, and you splutter, and you actually drop your glass, and it goes everywhere, and there's this big call around the room, and just like, way! And Siliqui, you in one corner, you just smirk at the guy that you've bet against, and you get back. You get 20 gold pieces plus the 20 gold pieces for your bet, as Raana is out.
Oh, by the way, I suppose I don't know what my odds are yet, do I?
No, you don't know what your odds are yet. No.
So do I get 20 back in total?
So yeah, so you get
10,
you just add 20 in total to your currency, essentially.
So I get 20 back and 10.
Yeah.
2 to 1, you get 30 altogether from a 10 buck bet.
Yeah.
So put my paw on Rana's shoulder and say, "It's good. It's good to come along for the journey, friend."
Zibi and Taban, the two of you neck back your rails, and you both are completely fine. You slam it down almost at the same time together, and you just sort of like, despite that little aside there, Taban, the two of you are like almost like staring at each other down, just like Zibi almost being like, "I've beaten you in combat. I'll beat you at drinking."
In this point, Siliqui goes up to the barman and asks for some kind of bucket, strong coffee, and some bread.
He is currently the barkeeper is currently engrossed in this drinking competition.
Taking bet.
However, one of the barmaids does indeed get you what you're after and manages to scrounge it together in order for you to have that bucket somewhere nearby to hand.
Any chance you can get your hands on like a box of 20 nuggets or something? That's what I need. Right?
Thank you, or Taban.
I need sauce.
Chicken King.
Yes.
Taban just wants a bucket of house mice.
The thing is, if you think about it, in Chult, you probably do have like deep fried dinosaurs somewhere. So not just turkey dinosaurs, it's literally just dinosaurs.
We're basically the Flintstones.
Yeah.
We're bedrock. This is bedrock.
Rene Matthews turkey dino nuggets. Yeah.
Cholt fried dino, CF.
He brings out, Thamuza brings out a new round of drinks for you. This time only 2 bowls, one bowl and 1 pint, as obviously Raana has unfortunately fallen from grace. He places them in front of you, and this one, this now is an interesting cocktail. This is a dirty pint that has the tiniest shot of drow poison in there to just kick in that flavour, just increase that sort of wobbly feeling that you might get.
Nice.
And so I'd like you both to make another Constitution saving throw, please.
To make your mouth go a bit like when you've been to the dentist.
It makes your face do that.
Okay.
19.
19 for Taban, and
12 plus 2, 14.
14. Okay. As you guys take this drink, you both knock it back. You're drinking. And Zibi, you just fall on over and just keep going. And you lose your chair. Taban, on the other side, you just about manage to keep your seat. You choke at the last bit, and as you put the bowl down, your vision is blurring a little bit. That drow poison is it's doing a number on you, but you are just able to place your hand in the air to claim victory. And with that,
yes,
Taban wins the competition.
Yes, Taban is true champion.
Well done,
Zibi, I am afraid you lose your 10 gold pieces.
Yep, I'm just marking it off now.
But Taban, yes, you get 45 back.
Barmaid, can I get another? Can I get some more coffee and probably bread?
Now, one more beer. Bring over for everyone. I sort of grab Zibi by the shoulder and put him back on his chair and say, "It was good."
Zibi,
good time.
Your vision has kind of as you've drunk this, you've slipped away ever so slightly. You've gone ever so slightly unconscious. So you suddenly find yourself on the floor, being pulled up by this tabaxi.
Hey.
And
with me.
And as you open your eyes, instead of Taban standing there over you, you see a little dark figure that just sort of is slapping you as Taban is slapping you, and just says, "Wake up, pussy," and then just vanishes, almost as if he's just sort of shot backwards and disappears from your vision.
Hey, wake up!
Zibi sits bolt upright and goes, "Why have we now got 2 pussycats?" Oh, I had the weirdest fucking dream. I was sitting in a pub, and there's this giant pussycat drinking from a.
Hello.
Oh Jesus! It wasn't a dream.
Yes, this is me, Taban, champion.
Hey, so it was. Champion of what?
Champion of everything.
Hey, we'll see about that.
It's oddly intimidating.
Now listen, Zibi, you're very good to drink.
We need to do a drinking competition. We haven't had one of those yet.
Yeah, I have heard this is the way to do it. Listen to me, Zibi. I have great respect for you both as fighter and drinker. As a reward for what you did today, staying with me so many rounds, not many have got this far. But as a reward for you, I will buy the drinks for tonight.
I told you I like this boy.
Can we just say, though, can we do the drinks after we've gone to see Ekene?
It is at about this time that, yes, Siliqui is quite right that she should be. You guys do need to sort of start making your way up to Golden Throne if you're going to make that meeting with Ekene.
Zibi, I would suggest you drink this coffee and drink it quite quickly.
No, it's fine. Can we get it as a takeaway? There's a fish curry with my name on it. Oh,
it's fine. Just don't let anybody see you take the cup out. It's fine. I'll bring it back later. Just go.
Did anybody pick up my 20 nuggets?
They're in the litter box over there.
Cannon, Greg. Sorry,
yeah.
I've said it too many times. It's canon now.
There are now somewhere in the myriad of food options that we have, for some reason, discussed over the course of this podcast. There are now such a thing as dinosaur nuggets.
Dino nuggets.
Chop fried nuggets.
Dino
Yep.
nuggies. Dino nuggies. Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
Let us go meet your friend. Come on.